information, so you can probably all be muted. As we go, if you want to, if there's a reason you really want to jump in right in the middle of the thing because something's going to be answered before we go on, you know, feel free to unmute and ask me a question, or make a note of a question in the agenda, which is really just the outline of this conversation. Like I said, I'll talk probably for 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'll open the floor for conversation. While I'm talking, I'm going to share my screen, so you'll mostly just see slides. And I think that's all I need to say to get started. So Kathleen, are you recording this?
Yep.
Okay, and I'm going to go to screen share. We'll see if we can make it all work. Okay, let's see. All right, that looks like it's going to work. All right, so if I haven't met you, my name is Tanya Baker, and I'm the Director of National Programs at the National Writing Project. And this is one of the reasons I love my job so much, is that sometimes we just get an opportunity to try something kind of brand new. And that's, well, I mean, some of you might argue it's not. Nothing's really brand new, and we can have that conversation, but this is a new funder and a new opportunity that I'm going to tell you about. So recently, in the last few months, we, the National Writing Project was contacted by JP Morgan Chase Foundation, or whatever it's called. It's the giving arm of, oops, I'm sorry, of JP Morgan, and they are kind of an aggregator of foundations. So a foundation who want some help connecting their mission to work that exists in the world might use a company like JP Morgan to help them find people they'd like to invest in. So JP Morgan reached the National Writing Project with an opportunity provided by Panda Cares, which you may or may not know, or may be able to guess, is the family foundation started by the family who owns Panda Express restaurants.
Oh.
That's what I did too, Marva. It's so exciting. So Panda Express Restaurants is owned by a single founding family, and they have a foundation, and they like to invest resources in health, family, and education in places where the restaurants are particularly embedded or successful. So when Panda Care reached us, what they were interested in is whether we could invest some of their money in programs to support educators in 7 states, one of which is Texas. So, so this is our first grant making opportunity with Panda Cares, and we are, and it is the kind of opportunity where they didn't have a specific agenda, like this is what we want you to make substitute teachers better, or we want you to work with first-year teachers, or whatever. They were pretty open to listening to us about the possibilities for work, but they wanted to make particular sized investments in particular places. So I'll talk to you about what we came up with and what that would mean for sites in Texas today. So this is really an informational call about what this investment opportunity is going to look like. It's really a sort of at the individual site level, it's a pretty small investment, but we're excited about the possibilities and maybe possibility of growth through a first successful project with Panda Cares. What I would love for you to do is sort of listen to the whole picture today, and then decide if this is a good opportunity for your site. So what we believe is that there are some sites for whom this will be a perfect fit, and other sites will say, this isn't good for me in this year, and that would be okay. We would definitely come back if we had another opportunity. But what I'm really looking for is to let you know before you go on holiday break what the opportunity is, and give you the next month to think about that. in January, we'll have another meeting of everybody who wants to participate. And in that meeting, we will have a memorandum of understanding for you to sign if you're going forward. And we'll know some more details about a couple things, which will be clear as I advance the slides and keep talking. So the overview of the program that we finally agreed on with the Panda Cares Foundation is to create a network within NWP of early career teachers committed to the profession, supported and mentored by experienced colleagues, and able to bring leadership to their schools in the area of family literacy. So what we're interested in doing is supporting writing project sites to recruit a small number of early career elementary school teachers who could attend your invitational leadership, like if you're having a summer institute or something else that is a leadership development opportunity next summer in 2020, and then have support, have a mentor from your writing project and support from us as well that would help them plan and implement some kind of family literacy programming or project at their school. And because of the way this opportunity is funded, there would be an opportunity, if it's a good fit, it's not a requirement of the grant, but an opportunity, say, to have a celebration night or to display writing or something in your local Panda Express if you have one. So basically, if you participate in this, you would recruit a small number of early career elementary school teachers, and I'll talk about the number in a minute, into your summer institute or other leadership development opportunity this summer. You pair them with an experienced teacher who could be a writing project teacher to be their mentor, and over the course of the next year, they would plan and at some point in the school year implement a family literacy project of some kind. So basically, this is an 18-month grant. It really would start in at the beginning of the new year, in, let's say, February, sometime January, February. We'd meet in January and people would get their MOUs and sign up. And then basically the project would require, we are calling these early career elementary school teachers Panda Fellows. The Panda Fellows, you would recruit your Panda Fellows. They would attend your summer institute. I'm just going to call it that for now, or whatever leadership opportunity. Then they would receive support over the year. As a writing project site, you would receive $1,000 per Panda Fellow to support their mentorship. And you would participate in a monthly-ish project development meeting where we would check in, see how it's going, support each other in thinking about and documenting this work. The Panda Fellows in the school year after their summer institute would also participate in a national, like an online programming. So they'd meet each other from these 7 states online and learn about the sort of range of family literacy activities and opportunities that people do and why they do them. We at the National Writing Project would support you in any issues that come up in doing the local work. We provide some feedback and reflection, and then we would document the work for the funder. Somehow I have missed one bullet point. The other thing is, in each state, there'll be money for sites who are participating to support the fellows, and then a small amount of money to do something statewide, which could be to have a convening to bring all the Panda Fellows together, to do a presentation at a state conference that already exists. We can talk about what the possibilities are, but there'd be a little bit of money too for whoever participates in your state to do something statewide to share the work. So what would you need to do if you wanted to participate? We're going to have questions and discussion in a few minutes, but you first have to decide if this is an opportunity that's right for you. And I think the biggest question right off the bat is whether you have a leadership development opportunity scheduled for this summer, like an Invitational Institute, because it's in Texas. I think it depends on how many sites participate. Basically, we have money in Texas to support 15 Panda Fellows across the state, which if every site participated would mean you could each recruit 1.5 fellows. But so it's really going to be between 1 and probably 5 people. So you wouldn't, it wouldn't probably be a big enough investment for you to want to make something from scratch as a leadership development opportunity. You probably work best if you have something planned for this summer that you could include these scholars in. And then I think the second question, you can tell me what the questions are, but so I'll just stop there. But first, you have to decide if this is something good for your site at this time. If it is, then we'll ask you to attend another 1-hour phone call in January. At that phone call, you'll receive an MOU. So there's no proposal, there's no application to write, or you don't have to propose the work. We'll kind of just give you an MOU that lists the bulleted points of what you have to do, what we have to do. And you sign it and agree. And then you recruit the agreed upon number of early career teachers for your summer experience, and participate in monthly program development meetings with us, which would start either in February or in March. Then your obligation to the fellows beyond what you provide for them in the Summer Institute is a mentor to support them through the 2021 school year in their thinking as they design a family literacy program or event that would happen at their school. And then documenting these so that we can share them back to the funder and to our larger writing project network, and participate in design and implementation of something that connects your Panda Fellows across the state. So what NWP will do is to provide support for each recruited Panda Fellow. So each fellow will get $1,000 for themselves for completing the experience, and $500 to support what they want to do at their school. So if they need to buy books or supplies or food or whatever they might need to do to host their family literacy event. And we will also provide, as I said, online learning experience about family literacy activities through an online learning experience. Each site will receive from National Writing Project $1,000 per fellow that they recruit. So if it turns out that whatever number of sites would have to participate for you to each recruit 3 fellows, that would be a $3,000 grant to your site to support 3 fellows. You'd have online network support from us, and obviously a connection to Panda Express / Panda Cares in your community. And then we would provide a small amount of money, and again, that will be determined once we are kind of clear about how many people are participating, but you'd receive, we'd let you know early in the process how much money we would have for each state for their statewide opportunity, and then you would design and implement some sort of state networking opportunity. Okay, that's the big picture, and you should ask any questions that are in your mind. I'm going to stop sharing in a second so we can all see each other better, but You should ask any question that's on your mind, because as I said, there are 7 states. This is my second call this week. So any question you ask me helps me anticipate the questions that anybody might have. So don't hesitate to ask all the questions and or to start a discussion among yourselves about where this might work in Texas, etc. So first I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can see you all better. And then I would open the floor for conversation.
I have a question. So is the $1,000 for the site, is that meant to go totally to the mentor, or can it also be used for whatever, functioning stuff we need to do here? Like, how is that imagined, that $1,000?
It's totally up to you. So what you agree to do is to incorporate this person into your summer institute or whatever that is, and provide them a mentor throughout the year. And again, it's $1,000 per fellow. So if it turned out that sites in Texas were recruiting 2 or 3 fellows, you'd get that money for your site and you could invest it however it makes sense to help you do that work.
And does the mentor have to be a current classroom teacher, or could the mentor be someone here at the university? Is that stipulated?
It is not.
Oh, so does it matter, or do you have a sense of that, or?
No, I mean, it's up to your local site, I think.
Oh, okay. And then also, we're recruiting for our summer right now. Like, I'm about to announce the applications in a couple of days. So I guess my question is, are people thinking about how having one person or 2 people getting $1,000 is going to affect the community, right? Like, I'm a little bit worried about how that's going to feel democratic or equitable when one person may be getting something that the others are not.
Yes, so this came up on our call yesterday, and I'm going to say 2 things that we think about this, and then I would actually open it to the community to have this conversation too. So we do understand that doesn't feel automatically like it makes sense. One, our plan right now, and I really have to I will know this for sure in January, but our plan right now is actually for the National Writing Project to pay the Panda Fellows upon completion of their summer institute and sign up for the fall opportunity, so that actually your site doesn't have to pay them. So first of all, it would just pull it out of it's not an issue for yours. I mean, I think I would say if I were a site director, these teachers, we were able to recruit teachers to take part in this year-long activity, the start of which is the Summer Institute, and not connect that $1,000 to the Summer Institute and not make it even an issue. And also the money would come from us, not from your site. So also less of an issue. It probably doesn't even have to come up in your Summer Institute. I don't see any reason why it would have to, because the money is to be a Panda Fellow, not part of which is to participate in your Summer Institute, but you don't have to tie it to Summer Institute completion.
Okay, I guess it just feels like if I don't know timing wise, like if I'm getting applicants for the summer right now, how it's not going to be really, because it's all happening at the same time. And so even if the money is not coming from us, it's still going to be, I think, aligned with this person's work during the summer, and then they're also getting mentorship throughout the year, right? I don't think I quite understand how it would not be an issue.
Well, that's why we're giving you the information, and it might not be a good fit for your site. You might decide, I don't want to do that. If I were the site director, I would recruit. I would hold some spots in my Summer Institute. Like, I know I'm going to fill 2 of these with early career elementary school teachers. Mm-hmm. I might even have a separate application for them.
Yeah.
And I would stipulate that the $1,000 is for the year-long experience of being a Panda Fellow, and I would, part of which is completion of the Summer Institute, but I would not tie that stipend to the Summer Institute.
I see. Okay. So would you almost have people, everybody apply for it who's elementary to keep it democratic? Like,
if I guess I would,
you know
what I might do is say, I mean, I don't have to be the only one answering these questions, so I will be quiet and let other people answer. But I guess if it was me, I might say, you know, if you are an elementary school teacher, if you are in the first 5 years of your teaching career, check these boxes. You may be eligible for a year-long experience.
Okay. That makes sense. Thank you.
Sure. And other people should say how they would handle it, because I'm just.
And Tanya, I think you just answered Liz Stevens' question, which was how many years experience is it early a career? So it's within.
Yeah, I think anything under 5 is fine. 1 to 3, 1 to 5. Again, the funder is pretty open. Like, they had some things they were interested in, but I think we can set the parameters. So I would say any teacher with fewer than 5 years experience could be considered for this. Any elementary school teacher. What other questions do you have?
I have 2 questions, but they're very specific to the San Antonio writing project. Is that okay to?
I think it would be great, because it just helps us to know what
So my first question is, so we're possibly rebooting the site. And I know that you mentioned that this would be an opportunity that would be ideal for a summer institute that's already happening. So that being said, I'm guessing that SAWP would not be a good fit.
Because you're not having a summer institute this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually not that you're not a good fit for me. It feels like a lot of work if you don't already have a leadership institute planned.
Okay. And this is so it wouldn't be like future years, it'd just be this coming year.
We have funding for this year. I always hope when I start a new relationship with a funder that it will extend beyond the first grant, but I don't have any promise of anything beyond this 1 year investment.
Okay. I guess that answers my question, because then the next one doesn't really apply since we don't unfortunately qualify. So I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if you don't have other questions, I guess it would just be great to have a gut check right now. And the gut check does not obligate you to what you say now, but in a gut check, Liz asked another question that came up yesterday that I should have known to say in the chat, which is, what does Panda Express expect in terms of a showcase of family literacy event? They don't have any expectation. We're teaching them in a way like what they could support. So they were just like, we want to support new teachers, we think. So what could count as a family literacy? So there are 2 questions. What could count as a family literacy event is wide open to anything that writing project people could imagine. I feel quite certain about that. And then you might want to take advantage of the local restaurant's interest to display work in their windows, or to host an evening family reading or something. And Liz asked, might the local restaurant contribute monies towards an event? They might. We haven't even thought about that or explored that, but that might be a possibility. So I was I was gonna ask, gut check, who feels like this might be a thing that their site would be up for in the coming year, and who's saying, no, I don't think this is a good fit right now.
I can't type since I'm not have access, but we are definitely interested. We have,
Notes for you.
yeah, Heart of Texas, Austin. We have a summer institute and we're keeping it going. So I would love to be able to do this. And my only concern was how to make it feel fair.
Yeah.
Right. And I think you answered that really well. So yeah, we'd be totally into it. And we have capacity to, you know, take more if there's other sites that can't. So I don't want to steal people, but we also have a pretty strong capacity right now. So we're eager.
This is fantastic. So I'm going to speak for those of you who are muted. Liz and Marva both say that they are also interested. So that's awesome. Let's see. So Deb. Liz. Okay. Carol, I haven't heard from you.
She's muted, but I think she's typing in the agenda.
Oh, okay. Oh, in the agenda. I'm looking in the.
Yeah, we're all over the place, but it's good.
Okay. And Corinne Hinton, I see that you also think preliminarily interested. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I think the next steps are, and you should use that time to listen, but also think about if you have other questions or thoughts that you haven't had an opportunity to ask or say. So we have a number of these calls this week with all the states who have been invited to participate. In the first week after our break, the first full week of work at the National Writing Project in January, Kathleen will send everybody a Google form asking you to indicate whether you are still, after having some time to think about it, interested in moving forward in this work. It would be great whether your answer is yes or no, if you would answer that Google form so we know we didn't just drop somebody or lose somebody along the way. Once we get those RSVPs, we'll invite everyone who is interested to a second meeting in January. At that meeting, we should be able to tell you, you guys ask good questions. We should be able to tell you how many Panda Fellows you'd be invited to recruit. And we'll give you the MOU, which you'll sign. And then once you can give us the names of your recruited Panda Fellows, we'll work on getting you the money to support your site and supporting them. And the work will really kind of get rolling probably in March, which would just be us regularly checking in and supporting you through any questions or concerns, and then also probably getting ideas and feedback from you about what would be the best family literacy ideas or projects that you'd love to have us share with the Panda Fellows when we meet with them regularly. So next steps, watch your email for a Google form in January for a Google form from Kathleen, and then for an invitation to a meeting in January, and then the MOU, and then recruitment of Panda Fellows. Does the teacher have to have any experience? Could you take a brand new teacher? Is another question on the table. And I think I would say it probably depends on your writing project site. So if your Summer Institute experience, if you can imagine a teacher who's never completed a full year integrated into your Summer Institute experience, and that would work in your place, I wouldn't be opposed to that. When I think about that, that feels hard, but I might be wrong. So I think I would probably say 1 to 5 would would work better. I think this would be a hard project to take on in your first year, but maybe if you have a great mentor or if you have a set of teachers from one school or something, there might be a good reason to take a teacher who's brand new. So I wouldn't make a rule about that from my office.
Is there any stipulation on how much mentoring has to happen? Like, is there any sort of gauge on that in terms of the amount of mentoring?
No, or how to do it. We haven't said either of those things.
Okay.
So I think what we would do as a community is talk about the range of what people are trying and doing and build that together. But no, there's not like X number of hours or X number of meetings.
Okay.
Does anybody else have questions about this opportunity? If they occur to you after you hang up the phone, that's usually when I think of things. Feel free to email me, and we can get back on the phone, or I can just chat with you through email. Oh, Carol?
Would you remind me again about what the $500 was?
It's money to support the project at your school. So,
Okay.
I mean, it feels.
And
It depends, I guess, on what you're going to do. It feels like it could be a lot or a little, I guess. If you're buying books for families or have a lot of families and you're feeding them, going to Panda Express every month. I don't know what you're going to do with that money, but that's what it's for. It's for the implementation of the project.
And does that money go to the site or to the individual?
Yeah, that is a good question. It is right now, the way we've written it, it goes to the individual. I'm questioning that myself. So I will answer that question for sure in January.
That's great. I was just thinking about that $500, and if it's going to the individual, then I was thinking that part of what would need to happen through the mentoring would be to help the individual come up with a budget.
Yes.
And then how to spend that money and kind of keep through the site, help the individual keep track of that. So
yes.
And actually, to me, that's easier than having it go through the site.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Good to know that. It totally depends on how your site budget and office works, whether it's easy to move $500 out for restaurants, etc., or not,
right?
Or food, or all the things. Anyway,
at UNT, it's a little bit easier to purchase or do different kinds of things, and it doesn't have to run through the university expectations. So
we hear that a lot.
Yeah.
And at different institutions, the expectations are different too. So sometimes I'm just really surprised, like, oh, you can't do that? Okay.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Before I let you go, since we have Texans on the phone, I'm going to turn it over to Kathleen to just tell you about something else in case you've missed this opportunity, and we just want to make sure you know about it because it's going to be in your backyard.
Yes. So I've been meaning to reach out to all of you Texas site directors, and since I have you on the phone, I will follow this up with an email. But on February 6th in Dallas, which is a Thursday, we're having an event around information literacy and how would you call it? It's like fake news, like distinguishing fake news and how to work with students. And it's going to be facilitated and run by Mike Caulfield, who's figured out a new way, or like designed a way to teach students how to figure out fake news. And we think it's a really good opportunity for teachers. And since it's in your area, I wanted to let you all know about it. It's in Dallas on February 6th, and registration is $150, which covers food for the day. And there are, if people need to spend the night, there are some rooms available that I can book and at the hotel. But if you can just drive there for the day, even better.
So because of the phone call we're on, I just would say 2 more things about that event. So Mike Caulfield is a university professor. He does a lot of work with undergrads and managing, know what Kathleen said, information literacy and recognizing real news from fake news. He's very into his work. Many people talk about the CRAP test as kind of the thing that's out in the world, and this is a different approach. So it's kind of it's new and I don't know, innovative. We think it's interesting work. We think the work is really interesting. So as I said, he's really been putting this work forward with undergrads. He's really interested in working with the writing project to see whether the way he's thinking about this would work with middle and high school students. So though we brought you on the call to talk about an opportunity for elementary school teachers, I wanted to just say this is a different opportunity that's really probably best for university, high school, and maybe middle school people, or people who are interested in working with those populations.
Thank you.
I think that's all I would say, but we can answer questions about that too, or any more questions that might have occurred to you about Panda Cares. None of you said you were going to make the Panda fellows wear Panda suits in your summer institute, but somebody did say that on the last call.
Oh my God.
That's something they could
sure.
spend their $500 on. Just kidding.
I'll wear a Panda suit for more money. So it's going to be grant money, right? It's going to be coded as grant money coming in to the university?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So where is the one-day event in Dallas?
It's in Dallas. Yeah. Where in Dallas? It's at the Renaissance Dallas Hotel, which is pretty close to the Love airport.
Yeah.
It's in that area. So, and if you have a list of people in the area that you think might be interested, I'm happy to send that myself, or I can, in the email I send you, I'll forward you all the information. You're welcome to forward it or send it to me and I can send it to your list. So whatever works for you all.
Right. Like I said, if any questions come up for you about this in the next few weeks, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to think things through with you and to hear your thinking about this, because like I said, it's a new way of organizing an opportunity and we are learning as we do it, which I feel like it's my whole life, learning while I'm doing it. So please feel free to let me know what you're thinking or ask me any questions. And other than that, I won't see you till many holidays have passed and the new year is upon us. So I would just say I hope you enjoy the end of your semesters, the end of your year, and I look forward to talking to you in 2020.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for your time today, too.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.